retire, women don't retire. It is very true because women really don't retire. They work till they can. So 80-year-old also will say, I can't see an 80-year-old man really working. So women don't retire. That's why they don't attend retirement lectures, I guess. You see, I mean, risk is something which I talk about pretty often in my blog. And when I was coming here, I knew because it's event organized by Pattu, I can wear a veshti or a shirt or a t-shirt. So I removed my shirt and button broke off. I said, I can't wear a shirt. Then I had to wear this t-shirt and come. I had a choice of wearing a kurta, but I said, okay, let me wear that. So risk can come from anywhere. And one amazing thing is, I have come for a wedding. So I wrote down what I am going to speak. I put it on my blog and I took a nice print out. I gave it to my nephew and in 5 minutes he lost it. He just couldn't find it. And he said, Mama, what can I do? I said, thank you. But I have a soft copy. So I took the soft copy and wrote it down again and I came. So this can come from anywhere. And the most important thing...
And you just push it up a little bit. Yeah. Still. Yeah.
And the most important thing about risk, you take the risk, you do the event. After that, when the event is successful, you think you took no risk. That is the stupidest thing to do because again you try to repeat and it crashes. So anybody who tells you I made money on real estate, okay, what he did was he bought a piece of property, maybe costing 50 lakhs, he put in 5 lakhs, he borrowed 45 lakhs, which means he repaid 90 lakhs. What risk did he take? He took the risk of having a job. He took the risk that he will not fall ill. He took the risk that his earning power will not go down. He took the risk that his company will continue to do well and give him the bonuses, right? After the event is over, he says, now property appreciated. If things had gone wrong, what would have happened? That is what you have to think. That is what insurance is about. Insurance is not about, oh, he died at 89, so therefore the whole world does not need insurance. That is wrong. In your father's life at 89, when you're thinking that he didn't die, he didn't fall ill, etc., he did not need insurance. You have to think of a peripa, chittappa, neighbor, mama, friends, father, who died at the age of 32, leaving his family without any risk cover. What happened to his family? His family went through a lot of trouble. His mother had to suddenly learn Hindi and become a Hindi teacher or something like that, right? Something happened. Family has come up, that's all fine. But what happened when you took risk and the risk happened? If you don't know that, you think there is no risk. Like, Appa, insurance hai maang liya. But your father didn't die. Think of the guy who didn't take insurance and who died. What happened to his family? You don't understand risk. So risk is about when thing goes wrong, what happens? For a family where everything went right, they didn't need insurance. That's fantastic. I took medical insurance 20 years ago. I've never made a claim. I have to be happy that I did not make a claim. I cannot say, you are wasted. That way I have term insurance also. My wife must be thinking, you are wasted. You take insurance for peace of mind, not to make money. If I take cancer insurance, that does not mean I want to get cancer. Anyway, that's an irrelevant insurance, so please don't take it as a different. So I'm going to write about 4 things that, so this had to be rewritten and I hope I got the right reply. So what is so difficult about retirement planning? There are only 2 people in India who think retirement planning is difficult. One is sitting there, one is standing there. Everybody else thinks retirement is very simple. There is one guy in Chennai who speaks to me and says, Subra, retirement level. So I said, one lifestyle to 10 kodi. 10 kodi, that figure has to be wrong. no application of mine, IIT, IIM and all that, so no application of mine. He thinks that figure is wrong. So I said, very good, monthly electricity bills. Yeah, I'm not like Bombay, okay, we need 12 months, we need AC. Say, a Word document, but Excel sheet, figure it. It comes to an average of 15 to 17,000 per month. This is another figure pidichirka. That figure enna pannadhu. Adhe madhira 10 kodi. That figure onnum panna mudiyadhu. Indha 17000 pidichirukalla 10 kodi pidikkanum. 10 kodi pidikadha. Idha vandu 1700 aagum. It mudiyadhu. Adu mudiyadhu. How much money you require at your retirement is a function of your expense. Not your brother's expense, not your father's expense, not your neighbor's expense, not your classmate's expense. Your expense is a function of your expense. So finding out how much money you need is a trick. And it's not easy. Let me write down 4 things which you need to know. Person who knows all these 4 answers will find it more easy. So how many of you know at what age you will retire? You are different, but where are you working? Huh? In the Thailand, if you know at what age you will retire, only 2 people here know what age they will retire. Both are from IIT. I don't know who else is from some government organization or something. Other than that, nobody knows at what age they retire. So if we all assume we will work till 65 like IIT, it's a wrong assumption. IIT you can work. In other places, you have no clue when you will become irrelevant. People can become irrelevant at 40, people can become irrelevant at 45, and I remember I called up a friend and said, hey, you need a pension plan. So he said, HR I think you need a pension plan. Not really. People believe you have to be paranoid about your job the minute you're 35. You think 35, you think you're in your 30s. Your HR thinks you're in your 40s. The world starts looking at you as so either bad health or some disruptive technology or something which happens which makes sure that you don't know at what age you will retire. So the first question is, I don't know. I don't know what age I retire. If you are a gymnast, you retire at 18. If you are a cricketer, you retire at 35. Forget one Jai Surya, one Shahid Afridi, one Sachin Tendulkar, they all went into their 40s. Shahid Afridi may come back and go in their 50s, we don't know. Pakistan, but don't take one guy and believe that will happen. So you don't know how long you will work and you don't know how long you will keep earning, right? So first thing is you don't know how long. Second, how long will you and your spouse live? None of us know when we will die, right? And we all hope and want to die at 65 when you're 45. But when you're 63, you want to die at 75. And if the money is over, then you want to die fast. But you don't know any of these things. So this answer also you don't know how long you will live and how long your spouse will live. If you die and she doesn't, she has a problem, it's her problem. You are anyway gone, you don't have to do anything. But if you feel somewhat responsible towards her, you should have enough money to last till she dies. how relevant is it to assume that your children will look after you? It's completely irrelevant unless you have 6-7 children. If you have 2 children, it's completely irrelevant whether they will be able to look after you. I can't imagine a 70-year-old diabetic looking after a 93-year-old father who's diabetic and blood pressure. He can't, yeah. He's a boya and care by that thing, So, kids being able to look after you is a joke. It will not happen. And don't get into that can't happen. I keep telling people this is like going to a lion and saying, yeah, now vegetarian, he doesn't understand, he's going to eat you. It is his job to eat you, it is your job to eat grass, that's your problem, not his problem. Right? So expecting children to look after you is completely unreasonable because children have more uncertainty in their lives. So will he pay for his daughter's MBA or will he pay for your cancer treatment at 76? Given our society, he doesn't have the guts to say, cancer anyway you're going to die, what can my money do? But people never say that, right? If a guy has 5 crores and if he has to spend 50 lakhs, he will do it. If a guy has 5 lakhs and he has to spend 50 lakhs, he will say, I can't do it. But he will do something and spend 5 lakhs. And then keep wondering who is going to do for his old age. Right? So, old age without money, very painful, but we are heading towards that. We are heading towards that in a big way. So again, this, we don't know, this we don't know. How much will you spend in this period? This is another amazing question for which we have no answers. If we all are living in a house which is say 20 years old or 25 years old, by the time you're 60, you can rest assured from the age of 60 to 90, you will buy one more house. Because you cannot keep on living in a very old house. That house will have to be broken down and built again. So there you have to assume there will be no cost of land, but there will be cost of construction. So that you have to assume, so you have to provide for that. You have to provide for cars, you have to provide for servants, you have to provide for medical. So the balloon keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So you need to estimate how much money you need, right? So this you don't know. At least I know one person here whose sister is a doctor, so his medical expenses will be taken care of. But for the other people, you are at the doctor's mercy. And either you should have doctors as friends or doctors as brothers, sister, client somewhere, so that you get some kind of a protection. But believe me, doctors themselves don't understand in a slightly expanded space how much will be the cost. So if you are a dentist charging 1 lakh for an implant, you are very lucky because you have created enough money. When you get cancer, you will get protected. But other than that, doctors are also prone to as much of uncertainties as we are. I address doctors who are 40 years and who will have about 1 lakh of saving because he started earning only at 31, 32. He has done his MBBS, MS, MD, DM, everything. But he is 31, 32. By the time he is already married, he has got a kid in school, so he really doesn't save too much. Unless he starts charging a lot and then say, he spent 11 years, 12 years in education. The only thing he has is time. And he's charging you for his time. We are happy to pay coffee, we are happy to pay for upma, we are happy to pay for this that tiffin which you have outside. But when it comes to paying for professional fees, we are a little reluctant. I don't know why. Without the saman cutting down, 11 years effort, experience is given you time, you cannot keep. So doctors are also into this. Even doctors are unable to predict how much they're going to spend. The doctors also need insurance. Now what does it mean? You can't plan for your retirement. And there is not to answer there. So what do you do? Don't plan. Right? Okay. Let us come to some myths. How many of you think that your expenses will come down when you retire? How many of you believe that your expenses will come down when you retire? I don't see anything coming down after you retire. Look at it this way.
Subra, I think you need to push the bob has to be right at the mouth. Yeah, right there. Otherwise, no, just for the sake of this, they can hear you.
It will not record.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let us say you take one day of yours or 1 week of yours. What all do? You work. Correct. You sleep. And then that is leisure. Correct? Can this be described? So you don't really spend money here. When you're at work, you don't spend money. Of course, ரொம்ப time கிடைச்சா Flipkart but once upon a time you couldn't do that. So spending money meant going out. So at work you didn't spend money. Normally at sleep you didn't spend money. Depends on if you're sleeping at home you don't spend money. Depending on whom you're sleeping with, you normally don't spend money. So where do you spend money? You spend all your money here. This is during work life. Now take God happens when you retire. Sleep எவ்வளவுதான் 9 மணிக்கு தூங்கினா 4 மணிக்கு வந்துட்டு கடற்கடன்னு ஏதோ பண்ணிட்டு போக வீட்டில் ரிட்டையர்டு. So what is it? Full of leisure. So you see very clearly from your age of 55 or 56 or 58 whenever you retire till your age of 70, where are all these people? Thomas Cook, Kesari Travel, நான் எங்கள் அண்ணா எல்லா ஃபேமிலியும் இந்த டைம் ஸ்பெயினுக்கு போயிட்டு இருக்கோம். சுவிட்சர்லாண்ட் போய் அதில் லாஸ்ட் டைம் சுவிட்சர்லாண்ட் அது எல்லாம் இங்கே தான். All that money is here. Till about 70 you have, if you have money and you have temper, you do all your spending. That is when all your maximum spending happens. And you can always say it is voluntary, but it is not voluntary. It is peer pressure. Anna போறான், தம்பி போறான், மச்சனம் போறான், நம்ம போறோம். என்ன அஃபோர்ட் பண்ண முடியாதா? So all your expenses happen here. It does not happen here. So the question is, coming back to the question, how much money do you need to retire? So how do you guess how much money you need to retire? That's tough, right? So don't guess, work it out. Somebody who's say 30 years of age, running a family, how much would be the monthly expenses? Monthly expenses for a 30-year-old with family. 45,000? 50,000. Okay. So a 30-year-old spends about 50,000. I don't know how many of your children go to IGSE and IB schools. And IB school for 11th standard can cost you 15 lakhs. So best is to say commerce panna porum. Don't go into IB and IGSE and commerce panna porum manda. But again, if you are into peer pressure and this and that, IB is very good. Only 5 students per class and this and that. We didn't go through all that, but there is pressure to put your kids through all that, then consider all this. Now, I am not even getting into all that. I am talking of a simple family. This is a straightforward, simple family paying an EMI or a car and this, because today you can't go beyond 300 meters without a car. Car is not good as a Now, if you assume about 8-9% kind of an inflation, 9%, every 8 years your expenses should double. Okay. So that means 38, 46, 54, 62, 70, 78, 86, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇದು ಬೋರು, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೇಡ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೇಲಿಂದ you call up Chennai Municipal Corporation and say, go, ಒಂದು ಬಿಡಿ ಅಪ್ಪು, ரொம்ப வாய்ந்தாச்சு. So now look at your monthly expenses. It goes to 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 16 lakhs. So 16 lakhs into 12 is about 2 crores. Yeah? This is simple dal, chawal, light sadam, vadmanga kind of expense. This is nothing great. This does not include your Europe trip and US trip and my second daughter's delivery is in Washington. She pays for the ticket. You don't pay for the ticket. Amma varnuma, varen. Ticket ancha varen. Ticket ancha varen. Avladhan. So assuming you get a 10% return, which we all know is very difficult, you need about what, 20 crores? Now, if you don't like this, okay, change this. Nobody likes this. Nobody likes this number. But nobody wants to change this. That can't help. I am just proof that Excel works. If you put this number in Excel, it will give you this number. If you don't want that number in Excel, you have to change Excel, or you have to change multiplication, or you have to change the power of compounding. You have to hope that inflation in India is less. I don't know what you have to do, but you need to get these kind of numbers in place. Now what happens is when Pattu makes a calculator like this, first is denial. Pattu can't be right. Why can't it be right? Because I don't want it to be right. So what is your first reaction? First reaction is, this is wrong. Second is anger. ಇದು ತಪ್ಪಿ ನನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ 8 ಲಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಟೈರ್ You don't like maths, what can I do? This is simple plain arithmetic. You will end up buying a house in retirement, you will end up buying 1 or 2 cars in retirement, you will end up paying a lot for services in retirement. You will want somebody to come to your house every week and clean the house. You will want somebody to change the bulb. You will want somebody to go to the ATM and withdraw cash. You will need a lot of support services. Given our demographic thing which we have, the fact is every guy in Chennai is aspiring to work somewhere else. He doesn't want to work in your house. Right? So if you get a domestic servant today, it costs you 5,000. After 5 years, inflation there would be 12, 13, 14%. It will not go down, it will go up. Your driver is going to be expensive. If your wife has forgotten her way to the kitchen because you had a cook, you're going to need a cook for the rest of your life. Right? Understand all this. You are getting addicted to more and more and more things. When Mahatma Gandhi spoke about freedom, he spoke about freedom from all these things. He said you should know how to cook your food, how to make your cloth and all that. We don't know any of those things. Everything we are dependent on somebody else. So your expenses are not going down. This is what is going to happen. Right? Okay, now I have scared you enough. Now what should you do? Yeah, okay. The word save was very nice, very useful in the 60s, maybe 70s, maybe 80s. In the 90s and 2000s, the word save will have to go out of the window. Saving is not sufficient. You have to learn to invest. Right? Why should you invest and why is saving not enough? Why is saving not enough? Yes or no? So what should you do? Okay, you should save and you should invest. You save because you accumulate some money and then you have to invest. Why do you need to invest? Because other than 2 people here,
To compound
nobody
your
has a
wealth
pension.
faster. To
Right.
compound your wealth faster, you need
Simple, if you don't invest, you can't retire. How are you going to get 20 crores? If you just save, a lot of people say that, oh, I live a very frugal life, I go by bus, I don't even take an auto, I don't do this and all that. How will I get rich? You will not get rich. You will not get rich by living frugally. That is very nice to build up a saving corpus. If that saved money is not invested, you will not get rich. One is living simple, like very good, fantastic. But for that 90 to grow to 900, 9,000, 90,000, 9 lakhs, 90 crores, it has to get invested, it has to grow at a rate faster than inflation. If inflation is 8%, you need to get 10%. If inflation is 16%, you have to get 18%. You have to get an R which is greater than the rate of, the most important thing which you are looking for is called is your money growing, is your portfolio growing at a real rate? Please understand, when I am saying your portfolio growing at real rate, just because you have heard me here, then you go and say, Appa, namasam 1000 equity la podren. It is of no use. If you are saving 1 lakh a month and you are putting 1000 rupees in equity, you would as well not put. The effective return on your portfolio has to be greater than inflation. So the most important thing for you to learn and understand is how much is inflation, right? And I have not seen any television program talking about inflation. They will all talk of next quarter ke endha industry la podalam. In your 35 years of investment, it doesn't matter who is the Prime Minister. How long will the Prime Minister stay? 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, right? How does it matter who is the Prime Minister? The most simple Prime Ministers, 2003 to 2007, who was the Prime Minister? Who remembers? People only remember market went up 7 times in 4 years. Right? So it doesn't matter whether Modi is the Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh is the Prime Minister. The best thing is all the people who are cursing Manmohan Singh are the same people who benefited when Narasimha Rao made Manmohan Singh the Prime Minister. So we forget all that. So Modi is the Prime Minister. How does it matter who is the Prime Minister? How does it matter who is Raghuram Rajan? None of those things matter. Why do you control who is the Prime Minister? Especially Tamil Nadu, Kerala and West Bengal, you go to any shop, he will take extra time because he is busy talking about politics. It's not so bad in other parts of the country, believe me, I have travelled. And in Bombay, if you see a guy who is delaying in giving delivery, will be a Malayali talking about some communist thing because two Malayali sitting there and talking about communism and all that. It does not matter. For heaven's sake, it does not matter who is the Prime Minister, who is the Finance Minister, what is Obama doing. But adallam kavala. Number evlo business panna mudiyum, enga podnom, adu today ella. But then Obama another inflation. No, don't talk that. It doesn't matter. Don't talk about things which you can't control. How does it matter? Don't waste your time talking about the weather in Chennai or the auto rickshaws in Chennai. They are like that only. You buy your own car or you take an Ola or you do something, but you can't change. Don't talk about things which don't matter to you. You cannot control it. Can you control what R you can get? That is very difficult. Okay, now take the compounding formula. What is real rate? Real rate is the rate that you are getting minus the inflation. So if you are getting 12% and inflation is 8%, you are getting 4%. Right? When you come to PPF, you are getting 8%, and if the inflation is 8%, you are getting 0. This is the risk of investing in government securities. This is the risk of investing in LIC endowment policy. They are all giving you negative returns. If they give you 4-5% when inflation is 8%, you are actually losing money. You are getting a negative return. Your wealth is going down. Therefore, LIC endowment policies are